A lot of people come to that point in their lives where they've worked for 30 or 40 years, they've acquired a home in, say, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alberta, where it's colder than a witch's tit in the wintertime, and they're deciding on where they want to retire to. My wife and I retired to Vancouver Island, to Nanaimo, and right now in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, they just had a super blizzard. 3 feet of snow, cold, 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 and people there are probably looking at each other saying, why didn't we move to Vancouver Island? Why don't we retire to Vancouver Island? You can only spend so much time in Arizona in the wintertime. You can only spend so much time traveling around the world. When Wei Fong and I retired back in 2014, we headed overseas to China. We have a home over there also. I do actually a YouTube channel called Guilao60, and I'll put the link in the description. It's very pro-Chinese. It's we always have fun and love where we are. We see the good in everything, and it's not hard to see the good here on Vancouver Island. It does snow here every once in a while, but the snow only stays for a little while. You've got a maritime community, lots of boats. You've got wet weather in the wintertime and dry weather in the summertime. It very seldom actually rains in the summertime here on Vancouver Island. You've got big trees. You've got lots of ocean and water. You've got the Strait of Georgia. You've got Departure Bay. You've got lots of lakes, lots of wilderness, lots of wildlife. It's common to see deer eating grass in the front yards in Nanaimo. It's common to see rabbits running around and black squirrels running around. It's just one of those places. Bald eagles flying off the coast, seagulls, all of these different things. There has been a lot of people that I know from Saskatchewan, my home province, that have actually moved to Vancouver Island, and they wonder why they didn't do it earlier. Like, seriously, when you don't have to fight 40 below weather in the wintertime, when you don't have to fight, you're not shoveling snow here. You don't have to shovel rain is a saying here in Nanaimo. Actually, since we've moved here, I've noticed that there's a big retirement community here already on Vancouver Island, in Nanaimo, Parksville, Qualicum Beach, Shermanus. All of these little communities have something to offer, and the biggest thing that they have to offer is nice weather year-round, wilderness year-round, clean, fresh air year-round. Some of the things that people spend their time at here on Vancouver Island is different things like crabbing and fishing, picking manila clams when the tide is out, just going boating, walking the parks. Like, seriously, they've got some major parks in this area, and they all have really good walking paths on them. So you see a lot of seniors running around with their dogs, because seniors are big dog fans, and I've noticed that everybody's got one or two of these little critters running around behind them or in front of them, and it's nice to see. Another thing, it's like anywhere else in Canada. You don't have a lot of population here on Vancouver Island as compared to what I'm used to. When Wei Fong and I retired, we went to China. We went to, as I was saying, traveling is only good for a little while. You've got to have roots somewhere, and our roots ended up in Nanaimo. We actually just bought another house here. We were living in a condo, apartment living, maybe for when we get a little bit older, but we bought a little house, and we're moving into it here probably in a month or so. We've got to do a little bit of renovations, but Nanaimo has its downside. It has very expensive properties. It has, well, everything's imported, so you're going to be paying more for gas, you're going to be paying more for groceries, you're going to see more homeless people on the streets of cities on Vancouver Island because the weather is so warm, and so they congregate here, especially in the wintertime, because winters as a homeless person in the prairies would be unthinkable type thing. So there's those things. You won't hear that from the city web pages. You won't hear that from, hello. You won't hear that from the city web pages. You won't hear that from, the Vancouver Island Tourist Board. You won't hear that from most of the touristy type of videos that are put out on the internet to promote Vancouver Island or cities like Nanaimo. But they do exist. So as any community, as any area of any country, there's good and there's bad. And you just have to be able to put up with the bad and accept the good, or accept the bad and put up with the good. However that works. So where would you rather be? Would you rather be shoveling snow in Saskatchewan or riding your bike down a trail on Vancouver Island in the wintertime? I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that say, well, I love the winter season. I love the 4 seasons. Well, we actually have 4 seasons here on Vancouver Island too. We have spring and fall, summer, and a very mild winter. And it's sort of nice to not have to shovel snow. It's nice where you can go out and you can go boom and your car starts right away. Not this roll. You Saskatchewan people and Alberta people know what I'm talking about. So if you've stuck a couple bucks in your jeans over the years running your own company, if you've built up money in your assets, your properties in the prairies, if you're going to be retired fairly shortly and you're getting that retirement check coming in every month from your past employer, whether you work for the province, a company, the feds, whatever, and you're deciding, where should I retire? Where should I retire? You should never retire to one spot. Always have a place that you go to, say in the wintertime, because hey, you need variety is the spice of life. Think about Nanaimo. Nanaimo is a good community. When you're walking along the waterfront in Nanaimo, you can feel the history of maritime. And one of the things I didn't know is Tommy Douglas came from Nanaimo. Tommy Douglas was an NDP MP for Nanaimo. I can't remember the years, but this is where he started. So Nanaimo has a rich history of maritime, politics, forestry, mining, and tourism. But it has a future in retirement communities, and you're seeing a lot more of that on Vancouver Island, and I think you're going to see a lot more of it to come in the future. So when you're thinking about a place to retire, think about Nanaimo, think about Vancouver Island, and one of these days maybe we'll see you here. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye now.